Hello everybody, it's Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to crochet this flower. Well, I'm going to be using it as a Christmas ornament, and it's labeled as such, but of course you do not have to use it as a Christmas ornament. You can make it any color you want and use it for whatever you want. So it's about from here to here, 8 inches across. And then it has a button in the middle. I don't know where the button came from. I just found it in my drawer. And it's going to be stiffened a little bit. Not much. Since I'm using it as a Christmas ornament, I'm just going to put a little stiffener on it. It doesn't have to be extremely stiff, you know. And then I'll put a hanger on it, and that will be a Christmas ornament for me. But remember, you don't have to use it as that. You can use it as whatever you'd like. So it's all made in one piece. My button's not sewed on yet because I wanted to wait until I sprayed it first. But it's got multiple layers there. 1, 2, 3. And then I said my leaves look like salad, don't it? So you guys want to go ahead and get started? Alright, I'm going to tell you about the yarn that I used. Okay, the yarn that I used for that flower, Hobby Lobby, I love this cotton. So it's 100% 4-weight cotton, medium weight number 4, Aran weight, or 10 ply for my friends across the pond. 100% cotton, 180 yards per ball. And I used a green, a red, a yellow, and a sparkle white out of all the cotton they had. They had one sparkle, and it was white. I want some sparkle cotton. I cannot find it in a 3 or 4-weight. I can't find it. All right. It doesn't take really much of any. The yellow probably like maybe 5 yards, not even 5 yards. The white, I use this for something else too. So 10 yards maybe. The red probably took the most. I don't know, 40 yards. Guess 50 maybe at the most. And the green probably like 25 or 30, something like that. All right, but you use any yarn you want, any weight you want, any fiber you want. It does not matter. You use what you have and make it any color that you want. And then I used a size H, which is a 5mm crochet hook. And again, you use whatever hook size you want. It's up to you. You're making it. I'm not. You use what you like. And yeah, that's it, I think, right? I told you about the stiffener that I'm going to use. You don't have to use that. I'm not going to get it extremely stiff, but... And you know what else I thought about, though? After I was sitting here looking at it? I took that button off because I was going to wait till after I stiffened it to put it back on. Wouldn't it be cute with a candle here, like a pillar candle? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Like a white pillar, some color pillar candle, you know, like so tall. That would look really good as a candle holder. That's just the right size too, I think. Maybe if the thumbnail picture is a picture with a candle in the middle, you know I did that. As long as 2-inch, hold 2-inch. Well, using the yarn I use, but of course you can make it bigger or smaller in the center. You know, do whatever you want to do. Inch and 3/4. That's a good idea. Or I'll just go with a button. But whatever. Are you guys ready to get started? Let's do it. Let's do it. Alright, so we're going to start out with a slip knot on a hook. And we're going to work a chain of 5. If you want to use the magic circle here, that would be fine. But I'm going to chain 5 and slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Like that. And I'm going to chain 1. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Now I'm going to be working double crochets through the center of this ring. So I'm going to yarn over and go through the ring, grab my working yarn, pull it back up, and then do my double crochet like normal. So that is one double crochet through the center of the ring. Now I'm going to keep putting double crochets through the center of the ring until I have a total of 16 double crochets, not counting that chain one. All right, so we now have 2, 3, 4, and you want to continue until you have a total of 16, and I'll meet back up with you. Alright, so I've come to the end of round 1 and I have 16 double crochets. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tail, close up that circle a little bit more, and I'm going to end by putting a slip stitch into my first double crochet. And that ends round 1. Alright, now we will start round 2. We're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and we're going to go back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. We're going to work a single crochet like that, and then we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. We are going to skip 1 stitch, so skip the next double crochet and single crochet into it, the next one like that, and we're going to chain 2, not too tight, it's kind of normal, and skip 1 and single crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 1 and single crochet into the next. So we're going to repeat this pattern of chaining 2, skipping 1 and single crocheting into the next until we make it all the way around to the end of row 2. Alright, so I've come to the end of round 2. I single crocheted, chain 2, and I have 1 stitch left, and I'm going to go ahead and skip it and end by slip stitching into my first single crochet, and you should have 8 loops now, 8 chain 2 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to tie this collar off now, and I'm going to switch to another color. All right. Okay. Now, row 3. We're going to be working into these chain spaces. And you can start in any chain space that you want. Okay. So just go into the space, any one you want, and pull in your new color. Chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. I'm going to have to slide it over there a little bit. Alright. We are going to go into the chain space and we're going to work 1 single crochet like that. I'm going to slide it over like that. And then I'm going to work 5 double crochets. Sorry. So 1 single, 5 doubles, 1, oh my gosh, try it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in the same chain space, slide over a bit, work 1 more single. So in each of these chain spaces, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to jump to the next one, and we will put a single crochet, and then we will work 5 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You probably have to slide it over a little bit, and then you need to put one more single into the chain space. And this is where I'm going to repeat all the way around in each one of these 8 chain spaces. A single, 5 doubles, and a single. And then you jump to the next chain space. A single, 5 doubles, and a single. And you want to do that all the way around, and when you make it back around, you'll have 8 of these petals. Alright? Alright, so I made it in around 3, and I have my 8 petals. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end by slip stitching into our first single crochet of the first petal. Now what we're going to do is make some chain spaces behind these petals. Alright, so we're going to start off by working a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, not a real tight chain. And then we are going to come over here, and we're going to grab, we're going to be working on the back side here. We're going to grab a loop from the single crochet on this petal here, the last single crochet. Just kind of grab one of the loops, and then a loop from the single crochet on this petal, which I did like that. And we are going to, oh, I didn't, that was the tail. What am I doing? A loop from the first single crochet on this petal. Sorry. Just a loop like that. So you're going under a loop of the single crochet, last single crochet here, and the first single crochet here, and we will slip stitch like that. Alright, and this is what we're going to do all the way around. So again, we're going to chain 4. Make sure you don't do it too tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the back side, we're going to grab a loop from this last single crochet on this petal and the first single crochet on this petal. Doesn't have to be perfect, just, you know, grab a couple of loops back here near the single crochets. Doesn't have to. I think I did it too tight. There. And this loop right here will be fine. It's not hard. I'm just making it harder than what it is. Like that. Here we go. And then slip stitch. I always make things look harder than they are. Like that. And then again, we're going to chain 4 kind of loosely. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to repeat this. So around, all the way around. So remember, just somewhere back there, a loop from the single crochet on that petal, and a loop from the single crochet on that petal. Doesn't have to be exact, just somewhere that you can slip stitch. So right, that one, and then this next loop right over here. Oh, I thought I'd be able to grab it. Yeah, right there. There we go. And slip stitch. I'm going to repeat this all the way around. Chain 4 loosely and repeat, and you'll have a loop behind every petal, so you'll have 8 loops when you make it to the end of round 4. Alright, I'm coming all the way around, and I just did my last chain 4. Here's how we're going to end it. We're going to go into a loop on the back side of this last single crochet of this petal. And then we're just going to go up, stick your hook up through that first chain space we made and slip stitch it together. And then I'm going to tie this off and switch colors. And as I mentioned, you'll have 8 of those chain spaces. Alright, now we're going to start round 5. Use red. And we can work in any one of these chain spaces on the back side. So we're going to go into the chain space. Pull your yarn through. We're going to chain 1 to start. Alright. In every chain space, so it will be the same. We're working a petal. So we are going to work 1 single crochet like that. Slide it over there. And then we're going to work 4 double crochets into the space. There's 1. 2, 3, 4, and on that 4th double we're going to do a picot. So we're going to go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to follow that back down to that double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch right into the side of it like that, and that forms that little ball or the picot on top. Like that. And now we're going to go back into the same chain space. You can slide your stitches over if you need to, and work 3 more doubles. There's 1, 2, and there's 3, and then we're going to put a single crochet in the same chain space. So what we did in the chain space was a single, and then we did 4 doubles, but on the 4th one was a picot, and then 3 doubles and a single. Alright, so it's 7 doubles, and the middle one is the picot, and then 2 singles on the side. And that's what we're going to do in every chain space. But before we do that, now we're going to do, to finish that petal, we're going to do a drop single crochet all the way down here to where that the first row, into that double crochet right there in between these petals. So what we're going to do is just take our hook, go all the way down like that, and then we want to grab our working yarn and pull it through, pull it up a bit, and single crochet. And that is the drop single. Make sure it goes in between the white petals, or whatever color you're using, the white one on mine. And that kind of gives a little bit of a distinction between the petals, like that. And now we're going to go again. We're going to jump over here to our next chain space. We're going to work another petal. So we're going to single crochet into it. That. 4 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. On that 4th one, we're going to do a picot, so we're going to chain 3, and we're going to come back down, and we're going to slip stitch in the side of that same double. That. We're going to go back into the chain space and work 3 doubles. And we're going to finish out that petal with a single crochet. And then before we do the next petal, we're going to do a drop double in between these two. So we're drop single, I'm sorry, single crochet all the way down here to the very first row into that double crochet that we put that single crochet into. So we're just going to take our hook, go all the way down, put it in there, grab our working yarn, pull it up, and single crochet. Just like that, and make sure it goes in between your petals. And there we go, in between those two, like that. And that's what we're going to do all the way around. So into the next chain space, it's single, 4 doubles, picot, 3 doubles, single. And then we do our drop single in between these two petals, all the way down to there. And repeat it all the way around, and I will meet back up with you at our starting point. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I made it to the end of round 5. I just did my last drop single crochet. I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first single crochet of my first petal. That's what you'll have. 8 petals again. Alright, so for row 6 now, we need to make some chain spaces again behind these petals. So we're pretty much just going to do it in the same manner that we did before, only this time we're going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that what we worked for last time, right? Anyways, we're going to chain 5. And then we're going to jump over here and again slip stitch somewhere. Actually, you can slip stitch around this drop double there. That'd be fine. Just slip stitch into that. Yeah, that works just fine. Then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump on over to the next drop double here on the back and just kind of slip stitch right underneath it, like that. Yeah, that's way easier than the singles. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump on over here to the next drop double on the back side, go right under it, like that, and slip stitch. And then chain 5 again. We're going to do this all the way around, and we'll have 8 chain spaces. And we make it back around to our starting point. Alright, so I made it around, and I chained 5. We're going to end the same way we did the last chain spaces. So we're going to go under this drop double, and then put your hook through the very first chain, and go ahead and slip stitch it like that. But we're going to go ahead and keep this color on our hook. Alright. We're going to make petals again. And this is round 7. So why don't we just go ahead and start by over here into this chain space. We're going to start by single crocheting into it. So this is how every petal is made. Single crochet. And then we're going to work 2 doubles. 1. And there's 2. And now we're going to work 3 triples. There's 1, 2, and there's 3. Now on this third triple here, we're going to work picot, but we're going to work 2 of them, so we're going to work them a bit different than usual. So we're going to chain 4 for the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now instead of going into this front loop and this side loop, we're actually just going to go from the behind, the same stitch, but we're going to hit that back loop from the behind, like that, and then we're going to slip stitch into that. Okay, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go in the same stitch, and we're going to hit the front like we always do, which is a little bit under that picot that we just made. But that side stitch there, and then that side stitch there. It's the same ones that we always do. And slip stitch. I'll tell you why we did this in just a second. So that was 2 picots we made. All right, now we're going to go ahead and finish out the petal. We're going to do 2 more triple crochets. There's 1. There's 2. And then we're going to work 2 doubles. 1. 2. And 1 single into that same space. All right, let's look at what we did for the petal, which will be the same for every petal. So we did a single crochet, and then we worked 2 doubles. Now we worked a total of 5 triples, but in the third one, the middle one, we put 2 picots in that stitch. I'm going to tell you why. So the first one we did a chain 4 picot, and we slip stitched it in the back loop of that stitch, and here it is. It's set to the back, okay? And then the next one we did a chain 3 picot, which is the normal one, and it just sets in the front. We're going to attach the leaf to this chain 4 picot, so that's why that's there. And the one in the front, it's just acting like a normal picot, like these up here. All right, hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and do it again. All right, so let's jump to the next chain space and single crochet into it. Remember, we're doing the exact same thing. Single crochet, 2 doubles, 1 and 2, 3 triples. There's 1, 2, and 3, and on this third one we're going to do that double picot. All right, so let's go ahead and do the back picot first, which is what a leaf is going to be attached to, so it's okay. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but instead of going into that front loop and that side loop, we're just going to go into the same stitch, but we're going to go from the behind and hit that back loop like that, and slip stitch it like normal, like we would a normal picot. Maybe, there we go. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be our front picot, and we're going to go in the same spot that we normally would, so into that 1 loop there on the side of the same stitch, and this loop here like we always do, and slip stitch it. So there's our 2 picots we got going on there. All right, and then we're going to finish out this petal with 2 triples. There's 1, and 2 doubles, 1 and 2, and then a single. And there we finished out another petal. And as you can see, this chain 4 picot that's set in the back, we won't, you know, like I said, we're going to be attaching a leaf to it, so it doesn't matter. And this one right here is just acting like a picot, like this one's acting. All right, so don't worry if that one's all floppy and crooked and whatnot. It's okay, because we're going to attach something to it. All right, so we're just going to repeat this all the way around until we have a total, or get back to the beginning, and we'll have 8 petals. All right, so I've made it to the end of my last petal, and I'm going to go ahead, I single crochet there in my last chain space like we're supposed to, and I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first single crochet, and I'm going to clip this color off. Now I bet your works, well, It may not be, but if it's all smashed up, we ain't got to worry about it because we can take care of it. Give them a pull, and that's all it takes. There we go. It's like it was never even smashed up. Look at that. All right, now last row. I'm gonna use green yarn. Let me fill the leaves. The leaves. All right, so we're gonna be working, as I mentioned, into these chain 4 spaces, and we're gonna leave this chain 4 picot, and we're gonna leave this front picot alone. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off. I'll bring my green yarn in, and this is what we're gonna do for the final row. Okay, we're just gonna start this one with the chain 1. Okay, slide it over a bit. Okay, in that picot, or that chain 4 space, we're going to do a single crochet into that space. Like that. Then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go back. I'm trying to slide it over, but it's being contrary. All right. Then we're going to go back into the same space and single crochet again. And we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go back into that same picot space in the back there. And we're going to single crochet. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to put one more single crochet into that back spot. So, into that back picot, the front one we leave unworked, we did a single, chain 5, single, chain 7, single, chain 5, and a single. All right, so now what we're going to do is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to come down here in between these 2 petals. And we are going to work a back post single crochet around this spot here in between these 2 petals. So take your hook, stick it under that petal, and then back out the next petal. And you want to do a loose single crochet like that. Now we're going to make another leaf, but we're going to make it a bit different. This time we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to go back into the same spot. Now we're going to go kind of right here in the side of that single and single crochet into it. And we're going to do a chain of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. Come on down and single crochet in that same spot, kind of in the side of that loose single crochet we did, post single crochet. And then one more time we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and come down and single crochet again into that same spot, which is kind of the side of that post single crochet. Single crochet into it like that. So there we made kind of a leaf in between those petals. Now we're going to chain 3 or chain 4, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to come on up here to the back chain 4 picot. Leave that first one up there. It's decoration for that petal. And we're going to do the same thing that we did over here in this picot. single crochet into it. Make sure it's not twisted either. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Single crochet. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more time, we're going to single crochet into that picot. So that one is done. And we got our front picot there, looking pretty. Alright, now we're going to repeat. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to drop down here in between this petal that we just worked a picot on and the next one. And from the behind, we're going to put the hook into that space and then back around this post right here. And we're going to do a loose back post single crochet. Do it loose because remember we have to work in the side of it like that. And we're going to do there what we did here. So a little bit bigger of a leaf. We're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on down, and remember we're kind of single crocheting right there in the side of that post single crochet. And we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on back down and single crochet into that same spot. That's why we got to make that post stitch loose so we can single crochet in it. And then chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one more time we will single crochet into the side of that post. Single crochet, and that will finish out that leaf. And we will repeat again. Chain 4. Is that what I've been saying? Chain 3, chain 4? I think chain 4, but and then we are going to do the same thing in the back of this chain 4 picot. Kind of make sure, pull it apart, make sure your chain 3 picot isn't, neither one of them is twisted, and the chain 3 is to the front. And we're just going to repeat it, what we've been doing. Single, chain 5, single, chain 7, single, chain 5, single, and that finishes out of that one. And then we chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat it again. Come back in down here in between these layers of petals here. And in between the petal that you just worked that leaf on and the petal that we did not have a leaf on, we just go under that and then back out the other one so your hook is on that post. And we're going to do a front post or back post single, but you got to do it loosely because we got to work into it like that. And then we do our bigger leaf. We chain 7. Dang it. Alright. 7. And then we single crochet into the side of that post. Single like that. And I'm just going to repeat what we've been doing now to chain 9. Single crochet there in that same spot. You can see it really good. And chain 7. One more single into that same spot. That finishes that out. Chain 4. And we will work into the top of this back chain 4 picot. So this is what we're going to do all the way around. So it kind of starts to look a bit like romaine lettuce. No, it starts to look like that. All right, so we're gonna do this. Don't worry, we'll get it straightened out all the way around till we make it back around to the beginning. All right, so I made it around. Here's my last single crochet down here. I'm just gonna end. Actually, I'm going to chain 3 or 4. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to end by slip stitching. Where at? Up here at the top. I'm just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. Nah, I'll just slip stitch into this space. That'll be all right. No one will notice. All right, tie that off. Now. It's all roughly, it's all right. It's supposed to look like lettuce, like I said. It really is. So, what you want to do now is you can kind of straighten out your lettuce leaves. Hide any tails you got. Straighten out your lettuce leaves. Now, like guys, I'm going to be using mine as an ornament, so you don't have to. You can use it as whatever you want. But it looks something like that. I'm gonna spray mine with this. I'm gonna take it outside and do it though. Spray it down. Let it dry till it's not sticky anymore. And then flip it and spray the other side. It doesn't need to be extremely stiff, you know, because it's a flower, you know. It's not like a snowflake that you don't want to move. But, you know, I'm just gonna stiffen it a bit. You don't even have to do that, but if you want to, you can. But I am going to sew a button on them. The middle. I got this. Don't ask me where it come from because I do not know. But I'll put it right there. So, alright. Alright, so I'm just going to sew it on with, I'll find a smaller needle somewhere. And then sew this on. The middle. You don't have to. I'm going to spray some some adhesive spray on it, stiffening spray or whatever you got. If you want to, you don't have to. And then, like I said, I'm not going to make it like real stiff, just a little bit. And then, after I have my tails, you want to straighten it up a bit before you spray it. If you're going to spray it. Like I said, it's not necessary. That's it. If you want to use it as an ornament, I would, when I spray it, it'd be a bit stiffer. I would probably put the hanger, use a piece of ribbon or just a regular ornament hanger. You could put it on end of this picot or in there somewhere. Yeah, maybe I'll do that with some ribbon. Alright, just 1 second. Alright, I was going to add a bow to mine, but I can't tie bows and my bow looks really bad. So I'm going to leave that off. And I'm going to spray it first, and then when I get done, I'll sew this on. And I'm just going to add a little tie somewhere. I may not even use ribbon. I just might use a regular Christmas tree hook, but that's it. I hope that you enjoyed. I think it turned out pretty. Even if you don't use it for an ornament, you could use it for just a decor of anything like that. If you make this, show me a picture on Facebook. I'd like to see it. Don't forget to hit that like button, alright? And that subscribe button. And check out all my other tutorials. Many, hundreds and hundreds. Not all of them look like a lettuce. I'm just kidding. I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye, guys.